So today, we're not going to fit French throttle bodies. No, no, no. This is basically the box of all the bits that need finishing. That I said, I'll finish that later when there's no Kev here. Well, that later is now. Some of these bits just need clean up and paint. Like the bulb, just wants cleaning. Some bits need some modifying. So what we're going to do is tear through this box now, decide what needs fixing, finishing, fabricating, and what needs just a clean. So I think in here is the clutch master. Yeah, so that needs some fabrication. We had some mad moments there. This is the pedal box, so we've got to fit those sensors. Cable ties aren't going to quite cut it, obviously. Somehow like that. What else? I don't think there's much else to modify. The radiator, that needs modifying because that bottom pipe is obviously bent too much. I'm going to have to cut this pipe off, I think, and put a 90. I bent it and then fitted it, and then actually there's no flow through it. So we'll cut it off and put a 90 in. I think there is just enough room for that in the car, so that's ideal. This just wants a bit of a clean up, and actually we're going to wrap this for heat purposes. That's a clean up. That's a repair. That's for paint. That's for paint. That's for wrapping. That's for paint. It's wrapped in there. Okay, so that's for welding. Need to finish that off. That's fabrication, and then our big brake servo and master. So the master needs a rebuild, and then we'll clean it up and give all that a nice lick of paint, I think. So that goes in that box too. And everything else, I think, is just a case of clean it up and weld it. Yeah, that just wants painting. That just wants that wants blanking off now. We're not going to use that, and we're going to wrap that. Wrapping everything, basically for heat purposes. Same with the inlet, same with everything. We're going to try and wrap it all to try and help with heat under the bonnet. Right. So as the wrap all hasn't arrived yet, we'll leave that over there, and we'll start attacking this. First, I think we'll work out what size little 90 we need, so we order that, and then we'll maybe tuck into a master cylinder rebuild, I think. So after finding out you can't get 90 bends, we drilled in this direction, and then drilled in this direction, and then we're just going to weld that over. I think that was just an easy job. I'd have to do loads of welding anyway to cut this and clean this up, and yeah, it doesn't look great anyway. So we'll just weld a little blob over the top of that now. Ah, winning. Look at that. Sweet. Shall do. So that's the flow we wanted, and that's the flow we weren't getting before. Perfect. So that's one job jobbed. We are going to clean this up, and we'll just give those end tanks maybe a little layer of paint, and then polish the top and bottom tanks. Well, end covers, they're not tanks, are they? So that goes to the paint box now. Cool. Goes in that box. Right. Master cylinder rebuild. Let's do that next and paint all that up. Well, they've come up a treat. Honestly, I haven't bought new ones. Put them in my little bucket of usual cleaning things, which is a little bit of bleach, some dish soap, some fabric soap, and some soda crystals. Let it soak overnight, give it a good scrub, let it soak again, give it a good scrub. And again, the pump's the same. And then we'll give it some aerospace special plastic coating stuff. Well, it's just a wipe over just to keep it nice and preserved. But it looks great. Same job with this. This was a little bit tricky. You've got some nooks and crannies in it. Still got a little bit of dirt inside and I just can't get to it. But I'm pretty happy with it. And then we've stripped down the master cylinder. Thanks to Mickey Kellett, went and used his airline, had to get this second cylinder out with an airline, and we got all the bits. So we're going to paint this next, let that dry, and then we can build up the master cylinder, and got a new cap for that, which is good, and then we can just get some new pipe for this and a T-piece ready to put that all into the car. That's cool. So yeah, let's mask that up, paint that, and in the meantime I can do the final modifications to this, and then we can paint it all in one go. And then we can move on to the next piece in the box that needs some work, which is the clutch, which I've literally put off for 3 weeks now. And I was about to do it, and then I thought I'd do this instead. Seriously, put it off. Can't put it off all longer. Come on, get on with it. We got the old crust out. There was a bit of scabbiness on here because it's just been dribbling brake fluid and no one's cared. So that's fixed that problem. Totally. Mint. Cleaned the brake bar up. Clean little, I thought this was absolutely ruined, but I think someone had painted over it. So with the WD and some Scotch pad, it's come up like new, so that's nice. We've done the final modifications to this, which was a little brace at the bottom there, and then drilled a hole because of course water could seep into it, and then just cleaned up a few things on that, so that's ready to go. So we've masked it all up, got it ready, give this a coat of paint now, and then hopefully we can build it up by the end of the day. In other news, working on a 306 of course. Alright, so we're going to leave these now to cure. They've had a few coats. Orange of course had to be played here because if you paint your brakes orange they actually are more efficient. So, you know, it's a no-brainer. And then of course black helps with cooling, like intercoolers, if you paint them black they cool better, and that also helps. So we've painted some brake parts black, you know, science and all that. So that's perfect. So yeah, pleased with those. They look good, and they look nice. Good old spray hammerite with the metallic in it. Looks pretty good, I'm pleased with that. Should look pretty nice. Stainless nuts and washers, etc. when we put it back together. Should look dandy. So let's leave that to cure overnight and let's build it up in the morning. Right everyone, so we're going to put it back together now. Paint's come out quite nice. Got our bits, we've got some stainless nuts to replace the rusty old zinc plated ones. Nice new pin. Hopefully to hold it down, a new cap, cleaned up the boot, got our new seal kit. Let's make it happen, shall we? Yeah. Frame lapse, music, things. It's built up. There was some real faffing with these two seals here and trying to get the little pin in which I'd lost. So you have to compress the one piston, the secondary, put the pin in, which I had to make one, and then put the second piston in, put the circlip on. And then these two seals, that's a new one. That's a good original because I was basically, there is stress points on the underside of this now. You can't see it because of the seal, because the plastic piece that goes in there was actually pushing back into this cylinder. It wasn't going to happen. But anyway, it's built up. Nice stainless nuts in the places where they're relevant. New cap, so that's ideal. That works with the wiring I've made for it. And nice boot cleaned up. It looks good. Hopefully you can see that bit of paint, which is pretty cool. That's hammerite in a can, by the way. Perfect. It is a bit grubby. I thought it was hard, but the ceramic painting, the sort of ceramic coat paint, whatever I used, it's gone a bit soft, so all the dirty fingerprints kind of pushed through it. So I've wiped off what I can, and I might just give it a touch up with a piece of paint when it's in the car. Probably the easiest thing to do. I'm quite pleased with it. I think it looks alright. Looks pretty funky. And then there's our brake bar that goes across. So it actually sits across on the bulkhead like that. And that will connect up with that little hole holding a spring which holds into that little hole there. So as the brake pedal pushes up on this, that pushes forwards, and then that pushes on this, which pushes that way, which pushes that cylinder, and a little bit of that cylinder, and then go out to the brakes, and they go and you go to a stop. Winning. So that's done. Very nice, looking tidy. I think we'll get on to wrapping next. No, not that sort of wrapping. Thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up. Share this project if you would. A lot of people say it's a good project. Well, could you share it? That'd be ace. Just to get a little bit more exposure. That'd be cool. Thanks. See you all.